Yo, what up? This has been crazy time. Welcome to My Nerd Swag TV, and I'm Terry Cuthbertson, and this is James Hostler, and we are live today from Deadlift Collectibles, and here in about, I don't know, right around seven-ish. Hey, Mikey. Hey, Mike. What time you start this thing? 7
o'clock.
We're gonna be having a live sell here. And so we'll all switch over to Deadlift Collectibles, the comic book shop we're always bragging about, the reason I'm broke a good majority of the time. And we'll be going over there and doing a live guest sell online. So it's gonna be a lot of fun.
It's the first live Facebook sale that they've had at Deadlift Comics, the very first.
So as you jump on today, and behind us is kind of some of the first that'll be sold. If you see what's behind us right now. Maybe we'll put up a better picture of that here in just a second. So, but man, some good books behind us that are going to go up for sale here pretty quick. And so, anyways, so we wanted to start October with a little fun. What do you think?
That's right.
Let's talk some monsters.
October the 1st.
Yeah.
Happy October the 1st.
Welcome.
The month of ghouls, goblins, and everything else.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and get our monster intro going.
Don't worry, it might not sell.
Here we go.
Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Nice.
There it was.
I like it. All right. Well, anyway, so we're going to talk about some comic books tonight that are the classics when you're talking about monsters. So James is going to kick us off with a list here pretty quick. And let me make sure our mic's working. It looks like our microphone is not working. Hold on a second. See what's going on with that. So James, tell us, which one of these comic books do you have as we go through it? What's going to be our – let me check the audio here.
Okay.
Oops, not that one.
Let you check that. This is one of those firsts for our podcasts. Actually, out of all of these books that we're going to look at, the titles, I don't have one.
All right, none of these yet.
I do have a Tomb of Dracula giant size special. I know I've got one of those. So there's the first one, Tomb of Dracula.
Pull that up. Let me pull this up. All right.
Just about got it.
No, it's all right. Here we go. Here we go. Let me figure a couple things out here real quick. That was what was going wrong. Yeah, no, our mic's working just fine. All right. So let's look at these as we go. Share the screen. All right. There we go.
There it is.
Yeah. I like it.
So first we had Tomb of Dracula, and that had a pretty good run. It was pretty popular. It went over very well. Some friends of mine had this actual number 1. And I just didn't get it. I don't know why I should have, because I was the Universal monsters. I was a freak over that stuff all the time. But like I said, I do have the Tomb of Dracula giant size special, I think it is, and it may be number 1.
Nice.
That's the only one I've got of that.
Nice. I like it.
Then the Supernatural Thrillers. This was a series they put out there to try to launch some other titles, and they of course went through a lot of the classic monsters. And this particular issue featured Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and it was the only one they ever did of that one. So obviously, nobody got really excited about it. So yeah, and that was issue 4. I can see.
I wonder, because when it comes to comic books, the thing I always wonder about just with the classic monsters is why they don't seem to do as well. Even when they try to reboot movies and stuff, you never get a lot of fiction, not a lot of you never get a lot of traction with them.
Right.
And I wonder why that is. Maybe because it's old hat. Just it's not.
Some of it is, and some of these great classics to me, because of their lack of technology and the way they were creative and resourceful and tenacious, they created these really eerie, freaky images and scenes. Yeah. Using really what we call today primitive equipment.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of the ambiance and part of the.
Now we're into what I love, man. Right here.
Werewolf by Night.
Yeah.
Which ran for a while, and they're at least 2 appearances of Moon Knight.
Is this the first one? This is his first appearance?
That's 33. There's another one on there. I don't know what number it is. Let's see.
Here it
It's
is.
32. Yeah, 32, 33.
Yeah, so 32 is probably 32 is his first appearance.
Right, as far as I can tell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a few Werewolf by Night, but they're very early on. I don't have any of these later issues. But I had a friend that was a big Werewolf by Night collector.
Yeah, man.
That really liked it.
So
and you know, and it was cool. It worked for a period of time. I don't know how many issues they ended up with, but you can see there's 33 at least right there.
yeah.
So
Well, the cool thing about Werewolf by Night, you know, he falls into I mean, he's one of those characters you can kind of throw into other things. I think he potentially could be one of the Sons of Midnight. Which would also include, I mean, because that team is interchangeable at times.
Right.
But, you know, with this new series that they're talking about launching, that would be one of the guys that could come out through that, too.
Sure.
They also put Morpheus in.
Mm-hmm.
No, Morbius.
Morbius.
They put Morbius in
The
a lot.
living vampire.
Ghost Rider's been a part of that team. So it's always, you know, it's a great team up. And then, of course, Moon Knight is epic in general. So now, don't mistake this with the regular mummy. This is the living mummy.
This is the living mummy versus the dead mummies.
See, the dead mummies have no lifespan, but the living mummy has a lifespan. He will expire in 3,000 years, and at that point, I guess he can finally be put to rest.
There you go.
So when he was cursed with a 3,000-year curse.
Right.
So he does have a lifespan to him. He's like a carton of milk, but a little longer than that, you know?
Sure.
So. And then, yeah, I guess I don't know what happens to him at the point that comes through, but I love these 2-in-1s. They always work out really well.
Yeah, Marvel 2-in-1 was one of my favorites. And, of course, the Thing was in, I think, pretty much all of them. And the Living Mummy made an appearance here. This one is a DC, and we'll go back to the Living Mummy because that relates to that series. Scroll up just a little bit.
Which one?
No, or either way. Go down to that one, and that's, yeah. Okay. The Supernatural Thrillers, number 3 was The Worm, and this was a one-shot deal. And you could tell, look at the distinctive art on that cover. It's Gil Kane.
Oh,
and
nice.
You can always tell his art. It's very clear, crystal clear when you see it. And it's unique, and it's kind of like, in my opinion, a step down from Jack Kirby.
Nice.
But anyway, so that was number 3, The Valley of the Worm, and that's the only one that I think they ran of that one. And
this isn't Conan, though, even though it looks like a barbarian fighter.
It's a barbarian guy. It looks a little more like Khazar because Khazar had the blonde hair.
Oh, yeah, true.
But anyway, so when you got to issue 6 or 7, that's when the Mummy, there's it. Let's look at it. That's small. Anyway, number 1. So that was the first issue was it. And there was another it. I don't know if that's supposed to be the same creature that showed up in that Astonishing Tales, I think that's right, and was on.
This is a Supernatural Thriller, and then he popped into Supernatural Tales.
Yeah. Here's the Invisible Man, issue 2, and of course everybody knows that.
So this was the Supernatural Thrillers was a whole run, and it was there. That was when they were trying to incorporate a lot of the monsters inside of that as it went along.
Headless Horseman, number 6.
Because none of these guys really take off. Now,
no, they didn't. Right.
Let me ask you this: though. The Dracula from Tomb of Dracula, is he also the Dracula ends up in I, Dracula?
I don't know. I mean, if
do you know
character, if he's Dracula, he's Dracula.
The Dracula in Tomb of Dracula, is he the same Dracula that ends up in the series I, Dracula?
No, I, Dracula was House of Mystery. It was DC.
Okay, so
okay.
Dracula was a
public
domain character, so they were both able to do
nice.
Version of them.
There you go. So DC and both
DC, yeah, Marvel had their own.
Man, this is a fun run. I didn't realize this was even a fun run, man. This is cool.
Now, this is its own issue. This is not the Thrillers. The Monster of Frankenstein. Now, this one changed the title after a couple of issues, and it went to the Frankenstein Monster, I think is what it said. They just changed the wording. The Monster of Frankenstein. I don't see it in there, but it did change. And this was a book, again, a buddy of mine had it, and I thought it was pretty cool. I never saw it on the stand, so I was never able to buy it. There's the Living Mummy. I
don't know what's going on.
Right there.
Yeah.
Okay, see, there's number 7. Now, I believe from this point on, when they got to the Living Mummy, they sold enough copies and got enough positive feedback that they just stuck with it. So I think Supernatural Thrillers went to issue 15.
Okay.
15 or 16, 15. And I believe all the subsequent issues after number 7 were the Living Mummy.
All right.
Yeah. So obviously it was well received, and they got the feedback they wanted. Godzilla, I bought that one. in the day. What year is that? 70 something. 77. Can't see. Anyway, I've got this book. I've got this book, and I bought. I got like 3, 4, 5, 6.
7-Eleven,
maybe.
On your bicycle?
Oh yeah, exactly. 7-Eleven on my bicycle. Only wasn't 1974. It was 1977.
All right, man.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
So,
well, one of the some of these characters that went in this series, this Supernatural series, actually do go on to have their own series. And the Living Mummy has a run for a while, and now he pops up in a lot of the Monster Montropolis stuff.
He resurfaces because he was popular enough that people wanted to
so
see
one of the cool things that actually happened with there's actually another introduction to a Frankenstein character when you're talking about monsters too.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually talking to Mike about this today, but did you know that Frank Castle was after he was killed, was chopped up and put back together and became Frankenstein Castle, and had a whole run in which he is a Frankenstein monster on the verge of losing his mind and going full, brain dead monster mode, unless he has a certain medicine the whole time.
Wow.
And what he ends up happening is he's fought. So he gets taken in and saved and turned into this Frankenstein Castle, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so he's still got Punisher's mind, Punisher's tactician, and he's fighting a guy. And I want to say it's a German guy who accidentally gets turned into a monster but hates monsters. Okay. And then there's a whole island of Japanese people who worship the German guy and the teachings of the German guy, and their only goal in life is to murder monsters. So all these monsters decide they need a warrior character, right? Which is the Frankenstein character that goes on. And so
very cool.
Frankenstein, and he ends up taking on he fights at one point one of Wolverine's sons, Draken. Okay. Is it Draken? Who is a total he's the worst character ever. He's a loser. And then ends up having to fight Wolverine, because Wolverine's not gonna let Frank Castle kill his son, obviously, even though Wolverine says that his son is a terrible character. So that's interesting, man. So that's kind of fun. All right, so what others do you got on here? Did I miss anything?
I don't know.
Let's see.
I think you covered most of it. We talked about it, Jekyll Hyde. Let's see. Werewolf by Night, Godzilla, Living Mummy. We saw the Marvel 2-in-1. Yeah.
So really, what they did
isn't everything that's out there.
Oh. Yeah. So here's some other monsters that showed up. I don't know if I got all. I tried to download all those.
There's a Monster Squad in Weird War, which is a DC, and it's in there. The cover's in there somewhere.
So what is the deal with Weird War?
Well, Weird War would go to different supernatural based topics and themes and have different characters.
So this is this
is the creature, what does that say? Creature Commandos.
Okay.
Yeah, you got the werewolf, you got Frankenstein, and I'm not sure
who
the other guy
what I'm guessing is that both Marvel and DC then made up its mind that they're going to take these public domain characters and just run their own spins on them and see what comes out of each one of them.
Right.
Okay.
So they were in there for a period of time, Weird War, and this is a little bit later.
I actually picked up one of these in an auction, but not this one. One of the Weird Wars ones, because it was like $1. I'll throw that in with everything else.
It was.
I haven't read Weird Wars though, so is it one-off stories, or is it a continual?
I think it's a one-off story, and then if it sells well, they continue the story. Okay. I think those Creature Commandos, I think they came back I don't know how many times because they got a good response from it.
Yeah, I got you.
But it seemed to me from the books that I saw a long time ago, the early Weird War, it was like a one-shot where there was a really cool story in it, supernatural based, relating to war, and then they'd have another one.
Well, I love it that they send monsters to fight Hitler. That's always always a positive. If you're gonna fight Hitler, send monsters.
Send monsters.
So
from one monster to another.
This is hilarious, man. And then they get this one guy. He's like, "I'm not a monster, guys. I just have a really mean personality."
Yeah, I guess that's Dracula.
I'm assuming it's got to be the Dracula character inside of here.
Right.
Yeah, let's do the research on Weird Wars.
Weird War. We'll check it out.
The next one, let's go down and I'll find a couple. I'll do some reading and come up with see if it's a one-off thing or not.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
All right, so let's ask this real quick. And actually, since we're here, well, let's ask everyone to put in the comments what is a classic comic book monster that you're a fan of. Throw that out there for us in the comments. Let us know what you're thinking, and then what do you think? We need to and if you have questions, even give us some suggestions of what you'd like to see inside of there, and we'll go ahead and talk about that. But maybe we'll do let's just do a whole episode on Weird War.
Yeah, we can
figure out what the deal is with Weird War.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just go and get some back issues and find that.
Yeah,
so
there's some floating around, and they're not expensive.
So
they're easy to get a hold of.
Now one of the cool things about to happen is the Bobcat has a Halloween edition coming out.
The Bobcat is
inside of
a short story.
Yep.
Called The Old Woman in the Woods, and I know I'm not blowing it by describing it here ahead of time, but it is a 12-page short story that's going to be in the new Okie Comics, which is titled Spookly Homa. And I meant to ask Jeff when that was coming out, and I think like a few weeks ago he was going to print. So I don't know if that's on the stands yet. Okie Comics. Yeah.
Let's find out. But so in that you actually have put a short story for the Bobcat.
Short story, 12-page of the Bobcat. It's a horror story, more or less. It's action adventure, and then there's a horror theme based on an actual Cherokee mythology legend.
Okay.
And gosh, I don't want to give it away because it will ruin the story.
Don't give it away.
I'm not going to give it away.
Don't you do it.
But it is based on an actual
do it.
Cherokee myth or legend that's been around for a very long time. And yeah, I'm not seeing any announcements on that. But it's called Spookly Homa, and you guys that are familiar with Okie Comics, you know that they're in the comic stores. They're free, basically, and there are different retail locations, maybe restaurants and things that will have those also.
And for whatever reason, on their unless we're on the wrong thing, but for whatever reason, they do not have their they don't have it listed in here when it's happening. So who knows when that's coming out? But when it does, I tell you what, we'll put it on Nerd Swag TV.
Yeah.
When it comes out, and we'll let's grab a couple copies. Even.
Oh yeah,
We could grab a couple.
I'm gonna have a stack.
Because listen,
yeah.
if you're not in Oklahoma, you're not gonna get to read it anyways, right?
Well, that's right.
So what we could do is we could grab a couple copies in it and maybe send them off to a couple people.
Yes.
Right? Like
yes. Oh yeah, yeah.
You sign it, and you actually signed up with a new artist for this story, didn't you?
Yes.
Because the artwork in that looks incredible. From what you've shown me so far, the artwork looks amazing.
His name is Jonathan Kelch, and the crazy thing is I didn't really know of him prior to this, and Jeff Provine is the editor publisher of Okie Comics, and he said I think I've got the guy that can do the short story, do the art for it. And I was like, okay, cool. And so I had no idea what to expect, and then I got some prelims and some rough ends, and I was like, holy mackerel, this guy is awesome. So, after that, I was like, okay, let's get this story done as fast as possible, because when Marvel, DC, and everybody else finds out about this guy, he'll be gone.
Yeah.
That's how good it is. This guy is amazing. Love his stuff. And he's just a great guy on top of all that. I'm going to ask about while we're doing this live.
All right. He's going to figure out some information while we're just randomly sitting here live. No big deal. Just going to sit here awkwardly.
It's exciting, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, I think, and also you can just go on to okiecomics.com to check that out. And I'm sure they're on Facebook also, but apparently he's sending it out. So we'll get a little more information. We'll also post that on my Nerd Swag on the Facebook side, and the on YouTube. We'll put a little post on it, letting you know when it's coming out.
Yeah, we're going to bombard you with it. We got our hands on it. It's just going to be like, look at this. Everybody's got to go get one.
And then Independent Comics, we have some others coming out. That what we should do is when we get we got a couple that are coming out, and we'll do some reviews of that coming up.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do another review 2 here pretty quick on the 3 Jokers as soon as I get my hands on issue 2. And I tried to get a copy. I tried, and Vintage Stock wouldn't give it to me. They had it right there, and I didn't have time.
That's why we go to Deadlift Comics.
Yeah. Well, he didn't get it for me either, so he dropped the ball. We'll let him slide this time. He's been busy trying to get an online sale, which is coming up at 7 o'clock, so we'll let it slide. But,
I know someone who has the Joker #1, and it was
Is this his
purchase.
bragging thing on his bicycle? I know a
It
guy
was
has.
on my bicycle.
I know a guy who
7-Eleven at 23rd.
I know a guy
and
who has Joker number
McCarthy.
1. He got on his bicycle and rode to 7-Eleven.
23rd in college. That's right.
You know,
So I do have number 1 Joker.
You know,
it's in pretty good shape.
I think
It's
what
in
I'm gonna
pretty
do
good
is I'm
shape.
gonna go back in time and and every time you purchase these, I'll just steal them from you.
There you go.
And, no, then that won't work.
Yep,
Okay.
Yep.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're gonna go ahead and hop off here for right now. We're gonna get ready to pop on to Deadlift Collectible. And we'll pop back on here also, possibly. I don't know. We're trying to figure this out. We may also have a stream going on here, only on Facebook. So we'll only be on Facebook on the My Nerd Swag TV, and then we'll be on Deadlift Collectibles on Facebook. So if you pop over there, they're gonna be doing. Are you guys doing giveaways too? They're doing giveaways.
There'll be some giveaways.
There'll be some giveaways, and then great prices. And then look, I mean, some great comments. Let me do this. I'm gonna pop in over here real quick, and we'll get some feedback for just a second. But I want to show you what's going on here. Maybe I will. Let's see. But we got some. This is the first rounds for anyone that's watching right now that's interested in what's going on.
Okay, I'm getting an answer. Let's see what happens. I'm getting an answer on Spookly Homa. Let's see what he says. I'm telling you, you guys are going to love this story. This 12-page story is great, and I don't want to say it's the best one in there. I haven't even seen them all, but I am totally thrilled and amazed with it. We release tomorrow online version Monday, so it's copies
nice.
turned out really well. The copies turned out really well, he says.
So we'll have a link right there on there's all the comic books that are gonna this is the first bout for anyone interested right there. Look at that. I want that Wolverine really bad. That is a beautiful. That's one of the. It's such a cool cover.
Absolutely, and there's X-Men 142.
Yeah, boy.
$30 for very fine. Are you kidding me? 50, 60 everywhere else.
All right, guys.
And this is not an auction. It's a live sale. It's the first one they've done. So it's like a buy it now. You know, I want A, B, C, D, whatever. That's what you tell them. So,
all right, my friends. Well, with that, we're going to go ahead and hop off here so we can get ready for the other thing coming up. So as always, I'm the Nerd Pastor, Pastor Terry.
I'm James, author, creator of the Bobcat.
And this has been My Nerd Swag TV. We'll catch you later. We look forward to reading some of your comments, guys. Let us know if you want a copy of this Okie Comics, the
Spookly Homa.
It's going to be an epic thing. They're
Yes.
free.
Yeah.
So we'll work out a deal if you're not in Oklahoma. Send us some messages and we'll send you one. Maybe even James will or sign it and we'll get it sent your way.
No charge.
No charge.
No
there might be a
charge.
little charge for the signature.
Well,
he's an important guy. I'm just kidding. We'll figure it out.
If we got a line of like 50, then we can calibrate that and go, well, okay, 50 people. Let's say 20.
Okay, no charge. It's on James. No big deal. James has got it. Don't worry about shipping. Where are you at? Japan? Yeah. It's fine. James has got it.
Yeah. 50 to ship it is nothing.
All right, guys. Well, we'll see you later. And when we pop on next time, we'll be talking about Weird Wars.
Weird War.
And I'll be doing my review of number 2 of 3 Jokers. So far, man, I'm telling you, if you haven't read this thing, it's well worth it. Also, get on and support the Bobcat, man. I want to read issue number 5. It's going to be epic. And so we'll catch you guys later. And checking underneath in the comments is all the links you need to get a part of the Bobcat and all that. So we'll catch you guys later.
See you
in about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Bye.